spots will be off limits, sparking anger from those who know our waters the best.
The state government has declared war on the humble tinny and our fishermen. All 850,000 of them are fighting back.
Outrage. I've been fishing for 40 years and I have never seen anything like this.
The government calls them marine parks. Anglers call them lockout zones. 25 of them up and down the coast. A big chunk off Long Reef. In the harbour, Chowder Bay, Camp Cove, Nielsen Park and parts of North Harbour. One of the biggest is off South Bondi, reaching out into the ocean for 3 nautical miles.
How good is that in the Parramatta River?
Fisherman, writer and TV maker Al McGlashan is one of those leading the charge against the lockout zones.
The fishermen are the true conservationists. They're the actual ones out on the water. Areas that they're locking up, I can't understand what they're trying to protect. Now, if they came to us and said, the snapper is spawning in this bay in September, October, we need to shut it down, no one would complain.
Craig McGill is one of Sydney's most experienced fishing guides.
For a bloke to be able to come home from work and take the kids down and, unwind for a little while, that's far more beneficial than any conservation value.
To marlin off Sydney Heads, to the prized kingfish inside the harbour. Our fish stocks have never been healthier. What's baffling many anglers is that there is no science to show recreational fishing is a threat to fish stocks or habitats.
It's more of an anti-fishing agenda than a conservation agenda.
For some reason, the New South Wales government's made fishing evil.
No, we don't have a problem with recreational fishing.
Fisheries Minister Niall Blair.
I understand the concerns as a fisherman myself. I'm wanting to talk to the community about how we can engage those fishers to be part of the solution, because they're not the number one problem, but this is about getting the balance right.
The 90% that they say that we can keep fishing is the areas where there really isn't a lot of fish. They're quite barren areas.
The government's own evidence shows the biggest threat to marine life is pollution from runoff.
We've been speaking to the government about this for a long time, saying we need to look at runoff. Instead of that, what do? They lock all the anglers out. I think they're very misguided with this whole scenario.
The concern of angling groups, the government is listening to conservationists and no one else.
The harbour is already crowded. If you go out there on the weekend, it's packed with boats. And to think that they're going to try and refine us down into an even smaller area, there's safety issues around that.
What's become clear in the last few weeks is that the state government has completely underestimated the depth of opposition to these lockout zones. It now looks likely that they will find some face-saving way of watering down the proposals. Some state Liberal and National Party MPs are so concerned that if the government doesn't pull back on the proposals, seats could be lost at the next election.
They are upset with the proposal, but it is just a proposal at this stage.
A friend of mine who does fish North Head, when the maps were first released, the first thing I asked him was, what impact will this have on you? And he said that this will force me into the dangerous spots.
Mark Burrows, 9 News.